Rightio, for Nutrien Equine and also New South Wales Harness Racing Rehoming, catching up with one of the rehomers now, and I'm great to have some female content come in. After talking to Brett Welsh, he's very manly, he's very bossy. Emma O'Shea joins me. Firstly, Em, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you. You're in Cootamundra, I think you just told me is where you're based at?
Yeah, at our place at Cootamundra.
I really appreciate it. The one thing we all complain here in Victoria about our phone reception, but I know dealing with a lot of the trotting guys from up there with their breeding and all the rest, reception can be hard. So this took a little bit of work to get around, and we can go from there. You've got Saint Brainy with you, who is your horse that you're rehoming. Firstly, he looks nice and relaxed.
Yeah, yes, he's pretty casual.
He takes it all in his stride.
Yep, he's been, so far he's been pretty easy. No dramas with him. He's pretty straightforward from the first ride.
I've got a couple of videos, but this is for the Classic Camp Draft. This is the standardbred rehoming section of it, which is, as I said, New South Wales Harness Racing Industry have got behind it with the standardbred rehoming, Nutrien Equine, and also Ringers Western. I've got their logo down there on the side because they've got behind it as well with Brett Welsh, and they're also sponsoring a horse. So it's starting to get very, very competitive. From a harness racing person and from, for a person who loves the sport and loves the horses, firstly, can I say thank you on behalf of a lot of people for doing this, because it's just sensational what you guys have been able to do to rehome these standardbreds and offer up a new home. I know it's changed a little. I know it's changed a little bit, but I want to say thank you for that.
Not a problem at all. It's actually been, I've actually enjoyed it so far.
And that's why I've said it's changed a little bit. I think initially it was like, let's get some rehoming, but with a little bit of trash talk and a little bit of one-upmanship from a few of the boys, it's got very competitive this now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I was talking to Mick Wilson on the weekend, and we were having a bit of a joke with one another. He reckoned he was heading home to get straight on his horse. I had him worried.
Well, Mick, he officially hasn't been announced at the time we're doing this. He will, because I'll put that video up first with Ringers Western. Ringers have come on and sponsoring him, and they haven't purchased a horse. They've got a horse to rehome, a horse called Montefief, who won $622,000 in stakes, 150 races he had, 31 wins, 31 placings, a serious top line horse. You, Em, on the other hand, You've been given Saint Brainy, who had 51 race starts and couldn't salute for connections, unfortunately.
That's all right. He's saving himself for the Camp Draft Arena, I reckon.
For anyone that wants to know, I'm a bit of a breeding nut. He's out of a mare called Torridon. Torridon has had 9 foals of racing age. 8 of those have won. 3 of those have won over 100,000. 1 of them won over 250,000. It is a terrific family. He's by Mac 3. Unfortunately, he just didn't have that winning attitude as far as on the racetrack.
Yeah, righto.
That doesn't faze you by the looks.
No, it doesn't. I like how he rides. I reckon. I'm enjoying riding him. I jump him over logs, I do everything on him, and he's pretty straightforward.
I think this is one of the key things that Nutrien and New South Wales Rehoming have done, though, is that they're taking horses from every walk of life, like, as I said, Montefief, but also Saint Brainy. There is one other horse that hasn't even hit the racetrack. So you're ahead of him. I do know his name, just can't think of it. Things leave my brain very easy, Em. Don't you worry about that. I've got a photo of when he first arrived not when he first arrived, but after your first ride. He's a lovely looking, put together horse, isn't he?
You actually wouldn't pick him if you couldn't see the brand on his neck. You wouldn't pick him to be a trotter, I don't think.
No.
Well, I wouldn't anyway. Except for maybe out in the paddock sometimes when he forgets the canter and he breaks back to a trot and overtakes all the other horses.
What, trotting?
Sorry?
Does he do that trotting or pacing?
Pacing.
Yeah.
Pacing.
Yeah, it's not the most comfortable thing to ride either, the pace from time to time. Now I've got a bit of video footage here of when you first got him. I actually put the wrong one up. I've labelled him the wrong way. That's okay. I'll sort this part out in a sec. But this is your first ride on him. This is your first day. You're actually trying to open a gate and get him out in it. all the guys, all the rehomers that I've spoken to so far, they all do the same thing. They're so adaptable. You're blown away by how good they are to deal with straight up.
Well, he's very, very good off your legs for a horse that has never been ridden. Like, he's no problem to get a gate on, the side pass, and he's actually quite bendy, like riding around. He's quite happy to bend his neck around and get off your leg, and he steps around good when I'm turning him around. He surprised me, actually, a lot. I worked him on a mechanical cow once, and he for what he is, he worked it very well the first time. And I just tracked another horse around in the arena, and he really surprised me.
He's actually good. Like, he's flicking back into a pace. This is the first video, but now he just broke into a canter right on cue for me. He seems to have quite a nice canter, doesn't he, when he gets going?
He does. He was struggling. He'd sort of, you couldn't get a full circle out of him, and he'd break back, and then he'd pick up the canter again. But he's getting better every ride.
Yeah, he is indeed.
I did take a lot of rides out up the hill and around the trees and that, and I reckon that's helping him a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just when you get on him that first time, is it just sort of a bit of confidence for him, a bit of confidence for yourself?
Yeah, he was. Honestly, the first time I got on him, it didn't fade. He did one little sort of a kick up, and that was it. He was just like a horse that had been saddled every day.
And because the competition level's lifted a little bit, like you got Brett Walsh out talking to magpies and things like that, which I don't get that, but anyway, he gets out there talking around his magpies. So the bar's been lifted a fair bit, hasn't it? You said there about Michael Wilson. He's got to lift his game because he hasn't done a lot at all yet.
Yeah, well, I've got to get some more video footage of my fella yet.
Well, hopefully we will get some of St. Brainy. As I said, he's a beautifully bred horse, and by Mach 3 out of Torridon. Your profile, so if anyone wants to, you go to the nutrienequine.com.au and follow the links to the website there. And on there they've got profiles, and I've put the picture up here, and it's got your name, when you started riding, before you're working, and all the rest. I love the last one when it says advice for other trainers in this project, and your response is see you in the competition ring. You're not giving them any bit of advice at all. You're just happy to take on the boys and give them a bit of a rough up.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be good. I can't wait.
I'm
actually take him to the next camp draft I go to and turn back some cows on him. That's how serious I'm taking this.
So you are taking him with you?
Yep.
Wow, that's great. That's really, really good.
I have my little 2-year-old girl on him and leading her around, and that doesn't faze him either.
We're back here. What you said there before about putting your young fella on the back and giving him a ride, that we did have a bit of a mummy moment there for a minute, so we had to just cut that section out. But they are beautifully and quiet. They adapt to kids so well, actually, standardbreds, don't they?
Yeah, yep. So I got 2 kids, a 2-year-old girl and a 4-year-old boy, and like the little 2-year-old, I'll put her up on him bareback when I'm leading him back to the paddock, and it doesn't faze him. And if we go for a ride, I'll hop on this fella and put her on with me, and the other little fella rides his horse, and we just go for a ride around. He's none of that fazes him one bit.
That's great. As I said, from a standardbred point of view, thank you so much, because I really do appreciate what you guys are doing. And I know you took it on because you wanted to do it, and now it's got very, very competitive. And there is first prize. It's all going to be donated to charity. Plus the horses will be auctioned off afterwards. So I mean, there's a lot of good causes about this. But I think at the end of the day, you found a potential new home for our beautiful breed. And I'll say thank you very much on behalf of Campbell's comments, but also as far as Nutrien Equine as well. Em, I appreciate it. Looking forward to getting, I will be there for the camp draft. Hopefully I could even be in New South Wales before that, since COVID is starting to relax a little bit. We might even be able to catch up and get a bit of video footage from the farm. So thank you very much, Em, for joining me, and the great job you're doing. And there's going to be a lot of people barracking for St. Brainy, especially here in Bendigo, because that family races here in Bendigo where I'm from. So he'll be a very, very popular horse. Don't you worry about that. Thank you, Em.
All right. Thank you very much.